This module will show you how to use the ePrescribing section of the application. You are able to access this section of the application under the Patient Demographics Patient Information ribbon. You would either click on Medications, Drug Allergies, or Prescriptions. Under the summary, you are able to access this part of the application by double-clicking on Drug Allergies or Medication List. We're going to double-click the Medications section of the summary. This takes you to the ePrescribing section of the application. Let's review this screen. The ribbon at the top has several tabs. Prescribe takes you to the area where you will prescribe the patient's medications. Manage Meds is where you would add or manage a medication list. Pending Prescription is where you would go to view and manage any pending prescriptions on that list. Renewal Request would be requests sent from the pharmacies that would need to be reviewed and authorized by the physician. Prescription Report allows you to view and print prescription reports on that patient for your practice. PBM History, or Primary Benefit Manager, allows you to view a full medical drug history on the patient. Options would be where you would be able to change your password, configure formularies, manage your favorites list, manage your pharmacy list, set up preferences for your user and practice, review and print activity, drug, decision, periodic, and pharmacy reports. Help provides help for the ePrescribing section of the application. We're now going to go over the information below the ribbon. Under Practice Information, you would make sure that the patient's information is correct. If the patient is being seen today, click Visit Today. If the patient is female, which she is, this information would appear. If this patient were a male, this information would not be here. If the patient is pregnant or breastfeeding, you would click the box of the appropriate option. We need to indicate here whether or not the patient has any allergies to medications. If they do not, you would click this section here. If they do, you would select from the list common allergies the patient has or write one here at the bottom. We are going to select amoxicillin and click Done with Allergies. Now we have a message that this patient has no pharmacy selected. We're going to select a pharmacy for the patient. Under List, we're going to keep it at All List. Name would be the name of the pharmacy we are searching for. The rest of the fields are typical search criteria. You don't have to have all of the fields filled out, but naturally the more information you provide, the more refined your search will be. If you only have the name and the city or the name and the zip code, it will still be easy to find your pharmacy. Once you click Find, your list will appear. Make note of the code key here. This gives you a definition of what each letter means. This is the list of pharmacies that best fit your search criteria parameters. Before making your selection, you can add any or all of these to your list. Select the ones you would want and add them to the appropriate list. You can view and change your selection at any time. I will now select the pharmacy that I would like by clicking on the red letters. My selection appears here next to the pharmacy field. I can view and change this at any time. Now we will click Add the formulary. Click the drop-down arrow, select the correct formulary. Add any other information that applies. Once done, click Submit New Insurance. You may view and manage this information at any time. You have added the pharmacy and the formulary. Now we will prescribe a medication. You can search the full list by typing the first couple of letters and clicking Find. Or you can select from your favorites list which you created under Options. We're going to type in the first couple of letters and click Find. A list appears. Select the proper medication. If there is a contraindication, it will appear on this screen. The doctor chooses whether or not the benefits outweigh the risks and will prescribe anyway or find a different solution. If the patient does not have any allergies selected, a message will also appear for that. If you choose to prescribe anyway, click this drop-down. Make your selection. If your choice is not listed, type it here and click Prescribe Anyway. Our next screen is the equivalent of writing the actual prescription. Make sure the name of the provider is correct. Make sure that the pharmacy information is correct. If you want to send this to 2 pharmacies, click Split Prescription. We're going to only do one. The name of the drug you selected appears. If you wish to change the strength, click the drop-down and make your selection. Next, you will make sure the directions are correct. If there aren't any directions already inserted in the fields, make your selections. Once done, scroll to the bottom. You have options at the bottom to choose from when done. You would click Continue if all is how you would like it written. You would click Change Drug if you don't wish to prescribe this medication, and to return to the previous list. Cancel takes you to the original prescribing screen. We will click Continue. On this screen, alerts will appear above the prescription. You are also able to pick a date that the patient should stop the medication. Review the prescription and make sure that it is correct. If not, click back, make the changes and return to this page. Click Cancel if you don't wish to prescribe this drug. Click Add to Favorites if you feel you will prescribe this often. Click OK to prescribe. Scroll down until you get to Pending Prescriptions for this patient. If it is not already selected for you, click the box or boxes of the prescriptions you would like to prescribe. Again, you have options next to the prescription to modify it, delete it, or add to the favorites. When your selections have been made, type your signature password and click one of these options. Send sends it directly to the pharmacy. Send and Print allows you to send it directly to the pharmacy as well as print the patient a copy. The copy has a watermark over it that will not allow the patient to get the medication twice. Print without sending are for those prescriptions that must be written and signed on an actual prescription pad. We are going to click Send. A message appears in blue concerning the status of your prescription. We can now manage our prescriptions. If all you want to do is manage a medication when you enter the ePrescribing section of the application, click Manage Meds. Since we are here, we will review our options. You have the option of viewing this list as is or in detail. Under Actions, you can also delete, modify, or stop. This is how you prescribe and manage your medications. If you wish to view renewal requests, click the Renewal Requests tab. It will show you any requests. You will be notified of anything pertaining to this part of the application by this flashing icon at the bottom. Clicking on Prescription Report takes you to a screen that will allow you to view prescriptions for this patient or patients in the office. Select your fields and display the report. When you click on PBM History and Obtain New Data, you will be able to retrieve information on the patient from all physicians. Please note that we are in a testing environment and therefore we are unable to prescribe medications or show you actual data for the Renewal Requests tab, Prescription Reports, and the PBM history. We will now go over the Options tab. Change password would be where you would change the e-signature password. Configure formularies would be where you would configure your formularies. Favorite prescriptions allows you to add medications to your favorites list by finding the medication, choosing from a list, complete the directions, click Continue, make sure the information is correct, and click Create when done. Continue until finished. You will be able to come back to the screen to add more later on, or add as you prescribe. Pharmacy data allows you to manage your pharmacy list. User and practice preferences allows you to set the views for each one. Activity, drug, decision, periodic, and pharmacy reports are reports that you would add the parameters for and generate. This concludes our module on prescribing, managing, reporting of medications, and e-prescribing options.